Hey guys, I have another Instant Pot unboxing video for you today. I am going to be unboxing the 3-quart Instant Pot Ultra. It is the smallest version of the Instant Pot in the Ultra model. This will be my first Instant Pot Ultra. I've had duos, several different duos, and then recently I got the Instant Pot Max and I did an unboxing video on that, but this is my first Instant Pot Ultra, so I'm excited to see how I like it. I have had a Instant Pot Duo Mini, the 3-quart Duo, for at least 6 months now, and I absolutely love it. It fits on my counter. It's the perfect size for my counter. And so when I saw the Ultra 3-quart on sale, I decided to upgrade my counter 3-quart model to the Ultra and see what I think of it. And I did pull out my Instant Pot Duo Mini so that I can show you some comparisons of the two different types if you're in the market for one and you want to see the differences between the two. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this and get this box open. On the top here it has contents of the box all laid out there. First is the packet of paperwork. They have the Ultra Series manual because the controls are going to be a lot different than the other models, so definitely they have a separate manual for the Ultra model. The recipe book, and this is going to be the same recipe book as the other models. And here's a quick flip through of what the recipes look like. Pretty basic stuff. Ooh, raspberry cheesecake. Oh, and then they have some very helpful timetables in here for different things. I find that this is what I use from the Instant Pot recipe book the most because it just gives you really great ideas of cooking times for different things, and you can always, I've always been able to find what I'm looking for on these cooking charts. And it's got meat and fruits and vegetables. So that's the recipe book. And then this is the Ultra Series quick reference guide to show you what all these different things mean, and a quick and easy start. All right, now let's actually get to the meat of it. So here are the utensils that come with all the different Instant Pots. The ladle and the rice paddle and the rice cup. And here is the condensation collector that goes on the back of the Instant Pot. I will show you where that goes shortly. All right. Here is the cord. It detaches from the back of the Instant Pot. Some of the models have a fixed cord on the back of the Instant Pot. Sometimes that's nice, and sometimes having it detachable is nice too. Just depends. I don't know if you can hear those dogs barking in the background, but they seem to be having a bark off today. There's some neighbor dogs. Poe has been put upstairs because I didn't want him getting in on the action. Okay, now here is the teeny Instant Pot. So here is what it looks like. There's the control panel, and I will plug it in a minute and show you what it looks like all lit up. And let's open it up here. Of course, we've got some warning tags on the top that I'm going to remove. Here is what the lid looks like, and the release valve is a little bit different than on the Duo models, because on the Duo models you turn this itself to release the steam, but on this model you actually press here to release the steam. So it kind of keeps your hand a little bit farther from where the steam comes out, which some people might really appreciate. As a comparison, here is the Duo lid, and you can see there's the little handle right on the release valve that you turn from sealing or venting, and that's the difference on the Ultra versus the Duo. Underneath the lid here looks the same as the Duo, and I will disassemble all of this real quick just to show you how it's done and then put it back together. This is the silicone ring that goes in there that allows the Instant Pot to seal under pressure. Without this, it will not work, so definitely make sure you have this in there before you try to do any cooking. Then there are a couple things here that are removable. This is the little silver cap that does pop off, although the first time you try to take it off, it is a little bit difficult. There we go. That's what the little silver cap looks like. And on the other side of that is the steam release valve, and that can just pop off for easy cleaning. And some people are worried that when you put this on, it's a little bit loose like that, but that's how it's supposed to be. No worries there. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So I'll go ahead and take that off, and so I can take all the pieces off and then reassemble it for you. And then now for the float valve, this is what tells you if the Instant Pot is up to pressure or not. And when it is up to pressure, this is up and you're not able to open your lid at that point. You're never able to open your lid when the Instant Pot is under pressure. It's a safety mechanism that is wonderful. So if you ever need to clean the float valve, which you do occasionally if it gets gunked up in there, so you just take off this little silicone cap right there, and definitely don't lose this because your Instant Pot will not come up to pressure without it. And then the little float valve just pops right out the hole. So you can see it's a little hole right there that it goes into. And then you can clean that. You can clean the little silicone lid. And so that is the lid completely disassembled. Now I will go ahead and assemble it again. I'll start with the float valve. Just pop it right in like that. Flip it over and put the cap on so it doesn't just fall right out. So that's back on correctly. And then the little silver cap just pops right back on here, just like that. And the weight, the steam release valve, just pops right on like that and is a little bit wobbly, no worries. And lastly, the silicone ring just goes around this silver part here. You just pop it in with your thumbs. And that's all there is to it. So the lid is now assembled and ready for use. Now let's see what else is in here. We got some more warnings. And this is the Trivet. If you want to cook something above water, where you have some water down below that creates the steam, that creates the pressure, and then whatever you want to have cooking you put on top of here, you can have it in another little pot, or you could have it just sitting on top of here. Anytime you want to use something where you're not having the food touch the bottom of the pot, you would want to use your Trivet. And then here is the inner pot of the Instant Pot, and you never cook anything in your Instant Pot without putting this in first. If you do that, try to put anything inside the pot without this in there, it will ruin your Instant Pot. Please don't do that. Many people have done that by mistake. Just be aware, don't ever cook anything without your liner. And then the markings they have inside this inner pot is the 2/3 pressure cooker max line. If you're using the pressure cooker setting, you don't want to fill any liquid above this line. And then they have the half line as well. And here is the inside of the pot itself. They got another warning in here, but this is what it looks like in here. And I'm going to set my liner inside here. Now I'm going to show you where the condensation collector goes. This is the condensation collector again, and it just fits right on the back of the Instant Pot here, and it collects condensation. Anything that drips down in this black ring around the outside, it can drip down into this little hole into the condensation collector. It doesn't fill up very often in my experience, but every once in a while check your condensation collector and empty it out and clean it out. It can get kind of gross if you forget about it. So that, it just pops right on. I'll do it one more time for you. Just looks like that, and it pops right on the back here. Then also back here I have my plug, where my plug goes. Plugs right like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this plugged in and get my water test going. And that is the display lighting up. On page 14 of the manual, I had to hunt for it a little bit. It has the initial test run, which is optional. also called the water test. You might have heard it referred to. Add 3 measuring cups of water to the Instant Pot. And they said on this little safeguard warning sheet, when doing the initial test run, fill the inner pot with 3 cups of water using the plastic measuring cup provided. See manual for complete details. So the measuring cup provided is this one, which is a rice cup, which is not a true 1 cup measurement. It's slightly less. And maybe do some Googling about the history of the rice cup and why it is included with the Instant Pot. At this point, I don't know why they still include this. It used to be that they had markings on the inner pots that were rice markings where you could fill your Instant Pot with, you know, however many cups of rice that you wanted, and then fill up the water to the corresponding number on the inside of the Instant Pot, and you get perfect rice that way. But they don't have those markings on the inside anymore, but yet they still include the rice cup, which I don't see how it serves any purpose anymore, but I guess for the initial test run, you can use it to measure your 3 cups of water. And honestly, that doesn't matter. You can do an initial water test run with 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cups, whatever. Just know that the more water you add to your Instant Pot, the longer it takes for it to come up to pressure. And I should also mention that the manual does say to not run your Instant Pot with less than 2 cups of water in it, although you will find that a lot of recipes call for just 1 cup, or recipes will count the liquid from the ingredients that you're using, like the liquid that's released from meat or broth or tomatoes or anything else that's liquidy. So even though the manual says only ever run your Instant Pot with 2 cups of water, there is some wiggle room there. So here is my 3 cups of water that I already measured out. I'm gonna turn my lid, pull it off, dump in my water, and then I'm gonna set my lid on. And there's little arrows here on the front that you align, and that's how you know it's closed. I don't know if you can see them on the video, but there's an arrow here and an arrow here, and it is closed now. Okay, now I am going to select steam for the cook program, and to do that, I just turn the dial until I get to steam. And then I'm going to press the dial to select steam. And now I'm on the minutes, and I have to press the dial again to select minutes, and then turn the dial to go down to 2. And then I can press the dial again. So I press the dial again to get it off of setting the minutes, and then I have to turn the dial to go down to pressure, and that's already the way I want it. I'm going to turn the dial again to go to the delay setting. I want the delay off. I'm not using it right now, so I'm going to turn the dial again to go down to the keep warm setting, and I can either hit, it says on right now, I can keep it on, or I can press the dial to turn it off like that. So now the keep warm setting is off, so when the Instant Pot finishes its cook time, it won't go to keep warm, which is totally fine. And everything is ready. It's on steam for 2 minutes. The delay is off, the pressure is on high, and the keep warm mode is off. And now I'm going to hit start, and we'll let it do its thing. So you can see down here at the bottom, it has a little progress bar. It's in the preheating stage, and it'll move along and kind of tell you where it's at the different points in the cooking. One thing I will note real quick is some people get confused about how it just says on when you set it for 2 minutes, and then you are not sure where that 2 minutes went. The 2 minutes is actually just the time under pressure. So right now it's building up pressure, so that 2 minute timer has not started yet. That's why it's in the preheating stage. So it'll preheat, and once it's up to pressure completely, it will switch over to the 2 minute timer that I set it for. You can see the steam is starting to come out, and the float valve is going to pop. There it goes. Float valve just popped up, and that shows that the Instant Pot is almost up to pressure. It'll take another minute or so before the timer starts counting down. At this point, it's normal to see a few wisps of steam coming out, either from here or from around the float valve. but it shouldn't be a ton. It shouldn't be pouring steam. It should be pretty sealed. So maybe a wisp or two, but not a lot. If you're seeing lots of steam coming out when the float valve is up, that is a sign that something is not right, and you should talk to Instant Pot customer service. So there you go. It just switched over to the 2-minute cook time, which means it's completely up to pressure now, and now it is counting its 2 minutes of cook time under pressure. So cook time is finished, and that is why you heard all of that beeping. And I set it to not go to the keep warm mode after the cooking ended. That is why it switched to off just now. If you have it set to go to keep warm mode, you will see a timer that starts counting up. And so that'll tell you how long it's been sitting on keep warm mode. So now it's time to release the pressure so that I can open the pot, because at this point it's completely pressurized and I couldn't open the pot if I wanted to. And to depressurize your pot, you have a couple of options. You can either do the natural pressure release or the quick pressure release. And the natural pressure release just means to leave it sitting and the pressure will release naturally, and that takes a while. It will take a varying amount of time depending on how full the pot is. So if I were to leave this to natural pressure release with just the amount of water in there that's in there, it probably would take 10 to 15 minutes. If it was a full pot of soup or stew or something like that, it could take much longer. But the other option that you can do is a quick pressure release, and that's where you manually press the button and let the steam all release quickly. And that's something that you can do for certain types of food, but not for others. Anything where the Instant Pot is very full, you're going to want to wait for the pressure to release naturally, at least for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then release the rest of the pressure. Anytime you're steaming something with just a little bit of water at the bottom, it's fine to do a quick pressure release. If you're cooking something like boiled eggs, you're going to want to do a quick pressure release, because the longer you keep it in the pot when the pot is still hot, those eggs are going to continue to cook. So there are certain foods, and you will find that in recipes, it'll tell you to do a quick release or a natural pressure release, and it's usually abbreviated QR or NPR for quick release or natural pressure release. And sometimes they'll say things like NPR for 10 minutes and then quick release the rest of the pressure, and that would mean leave it sit for 10 minutes and let the pressure come down naturally for 10 minutes and then quick release whatever remaining pressure is there. So since I just have water in my Instant Pot, I'm going to go ahead and quick pressure release. And on this Ultra model, they have this handy dandy little button that you press. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Look at that. That was easy. And that float valve's going to drop down here in a second, and that'll mean my pot is ready to be opened. There it is. So now I can open my lid, and I have my successfully pressure cooked water. So now I know that my Instant Pot is in good working condition and it's ready for use. So that is it for my Instant Pot Mini Ultra unboxing and initial water test. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be back again real soon.